Hey guys, how are you? They finally did it and got Baywatch onto the big screen. Baywatch stars The Rock and Zac Efron as Lieutenant Mitch Buchannon and new recruit Matt Brody, and they have to solve a drugs case on the beach, whilst at the same time saving people's lives from drowning and other beach-related incidents. Baywatch, as you probably know, is based on the 90s TV show of the same name, Baywatch, which starred David Hasselhoff along with a bevy of beauties including Pamela Anderson, Yasmin Bleeth, Erika Eleniak and loads of others. The TV show never really had much substance. People didn't watch it for the deep storylines, they watched it for the beautiful women running on the beach in California in the slow motion. And the slow motion is something that is mentioned in the movie here. Basically, every time CJ is running on the beach, people make comments about how she's running in slow motion and how she always seems to be slightly wet but not too wet and glistening. And it's this self-awareness of the movie that makes it quite an enticing movie. If you go into this movie to expect anything other than just dumb fun, then you're not going to get it. You don't go to a movie like Baywatch and expect a deep, thought-provoking movie. This is pretty much a straight up rip of the TV show. It digs deep and takes shots at the TV show. These guys don't seem to understand that they're lifeguards. They seem to think that they have the right to go on chases. They seem to think they have the right to investigate, to break into places, drug dealings, corrupt power officials, and so on and so forth. And it is quite funny and very tongue-in-cheek. These guys really just don't get the fact that they're lifeguards. They're there to save people's lives. This movie is directed by Seth, the same guy who directed Horrible Bosses, and this movie is going to be a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. It is quite raunchy in places, it's quite in the gutter with some of the jokes, but it is pretty funny in places. Sometimes it goes way over the top and tries a little too hard, but there are parts that will certainly make you laugh and certainly kept me entertained at places. I didn't go to this expecting highbrow comedy, but it is comedy that will make you laugh, and some of the jokes really do hit home while others miss the mark wildly. Baywatch, as I mentioned, is very self-aware. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and that is one of the good things about the movie, because if it did take itself seriously, it would be absolutely dreadful. Now don't get me wrong, this movie isn't a good movie. This movie is pretty bad, but it's one of those movies that you will watch, you'll enjoy, and it will be a guilty pleasure, as I mentioned earlier. We're talking about a movie based on the TV show of Baywatch, for Christ's sake, so what else would you expect? The movie is very tongue-in-cheek, it's very raunchy, it doesn't take itself too seriously. The Rock is absolutely fantastic. He's very likeable as always. He gets the one-liners in. When you see all of the new recruit hopefuls trying to get a place on the Baywatch team and they go through the swimming trials and the trials to get onto the Baywatch team, this movie is quite good. There's one character I just really don't get, and that's the character of Ronnie, who's just this fat guy that really wants to be on the Baywatch team, and he has a massive crush on the character of CJ. And there are a few funny moments around this character. He does play a part later in the movie with his computer skills, but ultimately I just don't really see a point for this character. For me, one of the major letdowns was the action scenes. It seemed like a lot of this, in fact I would say pretty much all of this, was done in front of some sort of green screen. And when we get to see The Rock on a boat filled with flames, the fire just doesn't look real. It looks like somebody got my first video editor, used stock footage of flames and just put it in there, because it doesn't even seem like the fire is real, and The Rock just goes running through it. We get to see a lot of explosions, we get to see a lot of special effects, and it doesn't seem to hit home. It almost seems like it was an afterthought and they ran out of budget, so they did it as absolutely as cheaply as they possibly could. The villain of the movie, however, is instantly forgettable. Okay, so we're going there. The Rock is as likeable as ever. He gets a few good one-liners in, he gets a few eyebrow-raising moments. Zac Efron is pretty good as well as Matt Brody. And John Bass, who plays Ronnie, the fat guy, although I didn't see an awful lot of purpose to his character actually being there, he does actually get a few good moments, and he is pretty likeable, to be honest. The girls are as beautiful as you'd expect, and when they are in their swimsuits you really aren't bothered about anything else. And we do get a couple of cameos from the Hoff. We couldn't have Baywatch in any description without the Hoff showing up, and he gets a couple of small cameos in the movie, and Pamela Anderson gets a short cameo as well. So is Baywatch any good? It's certainly not a great movie. It's a movie that will probably make you laugh. As I mentioned a few times, it's certainly going to be a guilty pleasure, and it's one that you probably will revisit, and who knows, they're probably going to churn out a sequel in another year or two as well. I'm going to give Baywatch 2.5 out of 5. It's an okay movie. It's certainly not going to set any screen records, but it's one that you will probably enjoy and get a few belly laughs out of as well, because it is crude and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know down below if you've seen Baywatch, what you thought of it, and are you looking forward to any of the other summer releases that are coming. Please give a thumbs up if you like this review, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time for the next review. Bye.